Good morning, everyone. Welcome to podcast OKR and KPIs, where we explore how safe frameworks can drive real business value. Have you ever wondered how organizations ensure their safe transformations are not just about process changes, but also about achieving measurable outcomes? Today, we are diving into the heart of that question. How SAFE integrates OKRs and KPIs to align strategy, track progress, and accelerate value delivery. If you are an agile practitioner, leader, or change agent, this episode will give you practical insights and tools to connect your team's work directly to business results. Here we bring our expert, Mr. Saurabh, who will be providing more insights in today's topic from his diversity of experience. Welcome, Saurabh. A brief intro will help our audience to know you better.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone. I am Saurabh. I'm an advanced safe practice consultant and trainer with hands-on experience in helping organizations use safe to transform, measure, and succeed. Let's get started.
Welcome, Saurabh. I have a very
Mhm.
straightforward question for you to start this podcast. What does it mean by OKRs and KPIs, and why are OKRs and KPIs important in a safe transformation?
Just give me a moment. I'm just missing the window. Yep, no issues. Just hold on for a while. Some glitches which we cannot avoid. Just bear with me. Some glitches happening. Just be with me.
Okay.
Just hold on. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you have a question that what does it mean by OKR and KPI and why are OKR and KPI important, right? So in the world of large scale transformation, frameworks like scaled agile framework or that so-called is safe have become essential to help organization align work across multiple teams and departments. But alignment alone is not enough. To truly succeed, organizations need to measure progress, outcomes in a way that connects daily work to strategic goals. This is where OKR, which is objective and key result, and KPI, which is called as key performance indicator, come into play within the SAFE. OKRs help organizations set clear, ambitious objective along with measurable result that everyone can rally around. They create focus and drive alignment from the portfolio level down to individual teams. On the other side, KPIs provide quantifiable metrics to track the health and performance of agile release trains, value stream, and overall portfolio execution. They enable continuous feedback and course correction by tracking lead time, quality, predictability, and customer satisfaction. Together, OKRs and KPI form a powerful duo in safe, scaled agile framework, ensure that agility is not just a buzzword, but a measurable journey toward delivering real business value. In this episode, we will explore how you or an individual can effectively leverage both to sharpen strategic execution and enhance value delivery. Over to you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Can you give us an example of an OKR in SAFE?
In Safe, an example of, let's say there are multiple configurations in Safe. Essential, the basic one, large solution, followed by portfolio safe, followed by full safe. So full safe and your portfolio safe is where the portfolio involvement of your organization is recommended. In safe, an example of portfolio level OKR, this is just an example, not a sure shot OKR, which will be applicable in an organization. But a portfolio level OKR might be objective, improve time to market for new features or new request or new requirement. So improve time to market for new features, new requirement, or new need, new business need. That is the objective. But when it comes to key result, how we are going to achieve this objective with different types of key result. So I am giving you three key result over here. The first key result is reduce average cycle time from ideate to release by 30%. The second key result is achieve 90% on-time delivery on feature releases. The third key result is increase customer satisfaction score by 10 points. This OKR is setting a clear mission with measurable outcomes that guide the team's effort. I hope I answered.
Yeah, great. Can you also give us a simple example of KPIs in SAFE, which team can track?
Okay, that's definitely a good question. Like how the KPI are going to be managed. KPI related to the above OKR, which we have just spoke about. The OKR was the objective was improve time to market for new features. So the associated KPI average lead time per feature or per business need. Second KPI percentage of features delivered on schedule. The third KPI, customer NPS, which is net promoter score or satisfaction rating. These will be the three KPIs which is helping you to relate with the OKR. Yeah.
Okay. So then how do we differ OKRs from KPIs?
Okay, there's the question I was expecting. Okay, good. While KPIs are metrics tracked continuously to gauge performance, OKRs are specific goals set over a time period, usually quarterly, that push teams to achieve strategic outcomes. OKRs include an ambitious objective, what we want to achieve, and key result, how we will measure success. In essence, KPI measure day-to-day performance, while OKR drive purposeful change and alignment around larger or bigger goals.
Okay. So how do KPIs relate to OKRs?
Okay, so the difference and the relations. Okay, KPIs often provide real-time data that inform OKRs. For example, the mobile app crash rate KPI is a metrics tracked continuously and feed into the OKR, key result of reducing crashes. Essentially, KPIs serve as the operational indicators that demonstrate progress towards achieving the OKRs.
Hmm. Okay. Can you detail the relationship between OKRs and KPIs?
Okay, so to answer this, we will be considering multiple aspects: purpose, timeline, nature, scope, example, and relations. Let's start with the first one, purpose. Purpose of OKR, set strategic goals and inspire organizational focus. Purpose of KPIs, track operational performance and health. Time frame for OKR, it's mostly time bound, quarterly, half yearly, annually. That depend on the organization. Purpose or time frame of KPI, continuous tracking, maybe weekly, maybe daily. That depends on how frequent you are capturing it. Nature of OKR, aspirationals, outcome driven. Nature of KPI, quantitative performance measurement. Scope of OKR, typically cross team portfolio wide. Scope of KPI, team, art, and portfolio level. When I say art here, art is agile release train.
Hmm.
Example of OKR, increase customer satisfaction by 10 points, by 15 points. The example of KPIs, net promoter score, cycle time. Relation, KPI often contribute data that define progress on key result in OKR. So the relation between OKR and KPI often contribute data that define progress on key result in OKRs. I hope I answered.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, what are the analogies to clarify the concepts?
Okay, so you want to know the analogy to clarify the concept. Okay, so think of OKR as your mission compass. They point you in the right direction and inspire progress. Think of KPI as the dashboard instruments, speedometer, fuel gauge, engine temperature that keep you informed about current performance and risk. Together, they ensure you are not only selling towards your destination, but doing so effectively and safely.
Great. That seems to be a good analogy. What are the some myth bustings or common misconceptions about OKRs and KPIs in SAFE?
So, misconception is part of our life. Any concept, any theory comes with some fact and some myths. And definitely, we must be aware about the myth because many of the time people are just aware about the fact, but they did not know the myth and they end up doing the myth as a fact. So I'm going to talk about 8 myths. However, there are many, but the 8 common myths around. The first one is OKR and KPI are interchangeable. But the fact is, OKR are goal setting tools, KPI are performance measurement tool. The second myth, KPI are only useful for executives. However, the fact is, KPI empower team with data-driven insight to improve daily. Another myth, OKR must always be fully achieved to be successful. However, the fact is, OKR are stretch goals and partial achievement signals progress and learnings. Number fourth myth is more OKRs are better. Fact, focused few OKRs are far more effective than many scattered goals. At number five, we have a myth as KPI can be vanity metrics if poorly chosen. But the fact is, KPI must be actionable and tied to outcomes. At number six, we have another myth OKR are static once set. But the fact is, they should be reviewed and adapted based on the learning. At number seven, I have another myth OKR and KPI are only for large enterprise. But the fact is, organizational of all size can benefit. So, organization size doesn't matter whether low, mid, or high size organization, it doesn't matter based on the organization size. At number eight, which is the last one for this discussion, we have a myth as setting OKRs and KPIs enough to drive change. But the fact is, they must be paired with culture, leadership, and continuous improvement. Over to you.
Great. I think we have been discussing a lot on KPIs and OKRs in length. So let's have a quick round of question answers where I'm not looking for long answers. We will just keep it short and practical for our learners.
Let's try. Yeah, that's going to be a good learning for the learners. Yeah, let's start.
How do you help organizations identify the most impactful OKRs at portfolio level?
Okay, so start by aligning OKR to strategic themes and business goals. Engage leaders and stakeholders in the workshops to surface critical objectives that drive customer value and competitive advantage.
Okay. Can you share an example where KPIs uncovered unexpected challenges during a PI?
Okay, so in one of the art, tracking cycle time, KPIs revealed a bottleneck in code review that delayed feature deliveries. This led to process automation and peer review improvements, speeding up the delivery.
What advice do you give teams struggling to connect their daily work to high level OKRs?
Okay, okay. So we have to encourage decomposing portfolio OKRs into art level OKRs, then art level OKRs into team level objective and PI objective. Use visual boards and regular sync to reinforce connections.
Mhm. How do you ensure OKRs remain aspirational yet achievable?
Aspirational yet achievable. Use a 60-70 percentage of stretch goals approach. or we can call it as an uncommitted objective as well. Encouraging team to push boundaries but avoid burnout or disengagement.
What are common pitfalls organizations face when they are implementing KPI trackings in SAFE?
Okay, so overloading teams with too many metrics, lack of context for KPIs, and treating KPIs as punitive rather than informative are common pitfalls.
How can leaders foster a culture that embraces transparency around KPIs and OKRs?
Leader have to lead by example, celebrate progress openly, and use KPIs and OKRs and learning tools rather than judgment.
What role do OKRs play during aspect and adapt workshops in SAFE?
OKRs provide strategic input and criteria to assess PI success and areas for adjustment, guiding retrospective and discussions.
How do you balance qualitative OKRs with quantitative KPIs?
So combine hard metrics with customer feedback and employee insight to form a holistic performance picture.
Can you discuss the relationship between lean portfolio management and OKRs KPIs?
Okay, fine, good question. So lean portfolio management uses KPI to define portfolio vision and KPI to monitor delivery performance and budget efficiency. LPM or lean portfolio management in SAFE uses OKR to articulate the portfolio vision and investment themes, setting strategic directions. KPIs help LPM or lean portfolio management to monitor the flow of value, budget performance, predictability, ensure that portfolio executions stay aligned with business outcomes. Together, they create a closed loop system of strategic planning and operational insight.
What tools or dashboards have you found most effective for tracking OKRs and KPIs in SAFE?
Okay, however, like when we actually talk about the SAFE, we normally do not refer any of the specific tools because it brings the biasness of the transformational advisor, trusted advisor. But yes, to make it short, tools like Jira Align, Rally, Azure DevOps, integrated with dashboard platform like Power BI, Tableau, provide powerful real-time tracking and reporting.
Okay. What advice do you have for agile coaches or leaders to foster a culture around OKRs and KPIs?
Okay, so advice I will give to them that they have to promote transparency and regular communication about goals and metrics. They have to encourage participation across all levels, celebrate progress, and use KPIs and OKRs as tools for learning, not blame. Support experimentation and continuous improvement and ensure leadership models the importance of measurable outcomes. Building trust is key to effective adoption.
That's a really great discussion, Mr. Saurabh. Since last 20-25 minutes, we discussed such great concept to align the organization towards a common outcome that is the OKRs and KPIs. How will you conclude today's session?
Okay, so I didn't realize that we have spent 20-25 minutes already. So how I will conclude this session, OKRs and KPIs are powerful, complementary tools and safe. Together, they enable organization to connect strategy with execution, foster alignment, drive accountability, and continuously improve their delivery. By setting clear objectives, tracking meaningful metrics, and embracing a culture of transparency and learning, safe practitioner can accelerate value delivery and navigating complexity with confidence. To have more information, you can connect with me on my mobile number, which is 98106 18323. And you can also connect with me on my LinkedIn. Just search with me Saxena's, my second name, Saxena, followed by Z, and you will be able to reach out to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saurav. Thank you for your valuable time.